What the heck should I make for dinner? I am totally out of ideas. I don't know what to make. Somebody please help me figure out what the hell we're having for dinner. Ooh, I am the ghost of recipes past, and I'm here to help you. I heard your call for help. Why don't you make this? You're a ghost of recipes past? Well, I've never heard of you. What is this? Swiss steak? I already did a video on Swiss steak. I don't want to be a one-hit wonder and do a repeat. I mean, this is a different recipe, but really? Another video on Swiss steak? I don't know about that. Look, you have no shame. Just make the damn Swiss steak. It's like you've been studying me and you understand me inside and out. You're right, I have no shame. Let's make the Swiss steak. Hey everyone, it's Molly. Today we're making Swiss steak. Now I have done a Swiss steak recipe before in the past, it was about a year ago, but this is a different recipe that I wanted to try out, and Dan requested Swiss steak, so that's what we're making. So to start out, this recipe is kind of like a loose guideline. It's not really a strict recipe, so you can take some liberties with it. I'm starting with a beef chuck bottom round roast, and this is about 2.64 pounds, so it's a little bit more than what the recipe called for, but I think leftovers will be okay. So you want to slice this into little steaks that are about 2 inches thick. So let's see the best way to do this. They're going to be rectangular in shape, but I think that'll be okay. And then we're going to dip these in a flour mixture that has salt and pepper in it. And it didn't specify exactly how much flour and salt and pepper, so just use your best judgment. And then we're going to brown this in a hot pan in bacon fat. So we're gonna have a lot of Swiss steak. So you may have to add more seasoning later on if you didn't add enough in your salt or in your flour right now, but that's okay. We'll just do it to taste. So we're going to dip this in flour, get it coated, and then we're going to get our meat tenderizer out and pound it into the flour. Now it says you can do this with like a wooden mallet or with the edge of a heavy plate, but I don't want to break a plate. So I'm just going to use my meat tenderizer to get that really in there. I should have put on an apron. Of course I didn't. I'm making a big mess. Yeah, this recipe also didn't say what type of roast to use. It just says the steak, and actual steaks were crazy expensive at my store. So I don't know, have you guys noticed a big increase in beef prices lately? Holy cow. A set of steaks was almost $40, and I just wasn't really feeling that bougie, so we went with the $15 bottom round and made our own little steaks, and I think that'll be just fine. Dan and I are not very fancy people. So my meat tenderizer looks like brass knuckles, but I swear this is legal. And I'm just gonna pound the flour in, and this is really hurting my hands. Now you don't want to completely tenderize your meat, you just want to get the flour mixture in there. Okay, so my pot has been heating on the stove, and I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of bacon fat. It might smoke a little bit. So we'll get that melted, and then we'll brown our meat. Okay, so let's drop in some of our meat and get this browning. You're gonna brown it on both sides. So it might take a while to do all these little pieces. And then we will add the rest of our ingredients. So I'll see you guys when this stuff is browned. Okay, so I'm done browning the meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the meat back into the pot. And then I'm going to add onions. Now you can omit the onions if you want, but I'm adding onions. and I'm adding a chopped green bell pepper. And the recipe says you could either add a strained tomato or 2 cups of hot water, but it also says you don't have to add liquid. But I am just gonna add a can of diced tomatoes. And I'm gonna add almost a can full of water to this. Let me show you guys. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So I'm gonna turn this down to about medium-low. And it says to cook this for 2 hours, covered, so I need to get it covered. And it said you could also put this in a casserole dish and cook it in the oven. But you cook it until the meat is tender and the vegetables are cooked through. Now, this recipe really is customizable because basically it says you could add whatever vegetables you want. So you could put like maybe parsnips in here or carrots. Lots of stuff would be good. But we might have to add more salt and pepper. I'm willing to bet we will. But let's get this covered and I will see you guys in 2 hours or when this is done. All right, we're doing the taste test a little bit different this time. Dan just got home from work and he's gonna tell us how the Swiss steak turned out. Get a close-up of it. I served it on mashed potatoes. Yeah?
It's really good. It's savory, it's soft, it's really good.
So it's good, Dan?
Yeah, it's really good.
Would you recommend people make this?
Absolutely.
All right. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys that this recipe comes from Frye's Meat Guide. And it is from, let's see, I think it's from 1927. Yep, and it's from 1927. So 1927 Swiss steak recipe. A+. All right, I upload new videos every Friday and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.